Hello, good morning, everyone. So I'll be continuing our discussion about reactions and synthesis of alkenes. But before we continue our discussion, let's have a quick review about the topics or the reactions that we've discussed last week. So as I've said last meeting, alkenes are those compounds with a double bond in it, and they are said to be nucleophilic. So meaning they have they have too much electrons because of their pi bonds in their double bonds. And that what makes alkenes reactive and from alkenes, you can synthesize different compounds like halohydrines, alcohol, alkene, diol, and so on and so forth. So last meeting, the reactions that we've discussed are the following. So we discussed about preparations or how you synthesize alkenes. So you need an alcohol and then a strong acid, like for example, sulfuric acid in uh THF or tetrahydrofuran solution. So you um can synthesize or you can prepare alkenes via um elimination reaction. So you have eliminated water. And then for the reactions of alkenes, so the first reaction that we've discussed is the addition of halogens, in which you'll be needing halogens such as bromine and chlorine. And fluorine and chlorine does not react with this reaction since they are too reactive. And I mean, fluorine and iodine, the iodine does not do not react because they are too reactive, or they may not add to the reaction. So that's the first discussion. We've also discussed that the addition of halogens are anti-stereochemistry. So meaning that the halogens or the two halogens, they will attach to your compound from opposite faces. And then we've discussed as well what is a bromonium ion or your chloronium ion. So that is the product or that is the intermediate that is formed using the addition or due to the addition of halogens to your alkene. And then we also discussed the reaction of halohydrines, synthesis from alkenes via addition of your um, hypohalous acids. So an example of hypohalous acids or the HOX, we have hypochlorous acid or hypobromous acid that will yield halo alcohols or halohydrines. So again, halohydrines formation doesn't take place by direct reaction of alkene with your hypohalous acids. However, rather you add hypohalous acids, you need to add the alkene with either your halogen and with the presence of water. So you will produce your halohydrine. We've discussed as well the mechanism for the formation of your halohydrines. And the alternative to bromine, since we've discussed that bromine is dangerous, especially if you're going to handle it in in i- in laboratory or in um huge scale application. So the alternative to bromine is the N-bromosuccinimide, which is a source of Br2. And the fourth reaction that we did not discuss last time is the hydration via oxymercuration. So hydration, it refers to the addition of water to your alkenes, and it will yield alcohol, and the reaction of treatment of the alkene with water should be done as well in a strong acid catalyst. So an example is you have here in this slide, you have H3PO4 as catalyst, or you can also use sulfuric acid. And the mechanism for the hydration of alkenes is similar to your HX addition. So what happens in your hydration of your alkene is that you have your hydrogen atom in your electrophilic hydronium ion. So this is your hydronium ion or H3 plus. And then a hydrogen atom of your hydronium ion is attacked by the electrons in your double bond, the electrons of the double bond in your alkene, since it's nucleophilic, so it will share its electron to the hydrogen atom on your hydronium ion, and then it will form CH bond. So one carbon in your C to C double bond will attach to the hydrogen in your hydronium ion. So this leaves your other carbon with a positive charge, as what you can see here on here below. So your other carbon will have a positive charge and a vacant p orbital. So water, the nucleophile H2O, it will donate an electron pair to the positively charged carbon, will donate its electron pair, so forming C2O bond, and leaving a positive charge on oxygen in the protonated alcohol addition product. And then after that is your water. It will act as a base to remove your H plus. So it will remove the other hydrogen atom, and then the other hydrogen atom here, it will regenerate H3 plus, yielding neutral alcohol. So this is your product, which is a neutral alcohol with your H3 plus that has departed from your compound. So therefore, via hydration of your alkenes, you will produce your alcohol. So the reaction of synthesizing alcohols, they are usually hindered by specific temperature so that they can occur to the end product. So for example, producing ethanol, it needs 250 degrees Celsius to be produced from ethylene. However, in lab scale, they are not constrained with those specifications, because they are able to use other chemicals which can't be used in industrial scale. So that's the difference of a lab scale experimentation and the industrial scale. So, like for example, the oxymercuration, demercuration. So, 'di ba, we've discussed last meeting what are the effects of mercury to the community if ever that there will be um contaminations of mercury. So we've discussed about uh um the so we've discussed about the Minamata disease that has devastated Japan last 18th century. So that's the difference of um not using those chemicals in industrial scale applications. However, in lab scale, we can use them with um extreme precaution and also following procedures and using your PPEs as well during experimentations. So um, this is an example of uh, a reaction that can be used in lab scale. Hydration reaction via oxymercuration demercuration process. So if you say oxymercuration, it involves your addition of mercury or Hg plus 2 plus to your alkene. So in this reaction, your mercury or Hg2 plus is present as a compound, as a mercury acetate compound. So this is the appearance of your mercury acetate. Uh, and often it's abbreviated as HGOAC2 because Hg for mercury and OAC for acetate. And then you need to use THF or tetrahydrofuran as a solvent for this reaction. So what happens is that if you are going to use the mercury acetate and then you're going to use mercury acetate with your alkene. In this case, in this reaction, you have your 1-methyl cyclopentene. You are going to produce this mercurinium ion. And then also with water, you have your organomercury compound. So this is an intermediate compound. Your organomercury compound is an intermediate compound. So when this intermediate organomercury compound is treated with sodium borohydride or NaBH4, what happens is the demercuration process occurs to produce your alcohol. So again, for the mechanism, you have your mercury acetate, the electrophilic, you will have your electrophilic addition of your mercury and ion from your mercury acetate, and then it will be added to your alkene, and then you will produce your intermediate mercurinium ion. So whose structure resembles the same as your bromonium ion, just like what we've discussed last meeting. So they have the same structure as your bromonium ion. And then after that is you will add, if after adding water, there will be a nucleophilic addition. And then you will form your halohydrine. So this is the structure for this is same as your halohydrine, 'di ba? Kasi meron kang alcohol group and then you have same with halohydrine, you have your mercury acetate here bonded to your compound. So this is what you called organomercury product. So this is stable. The final step for your oxymercuration demercuration process is the demercuration process. Meaning, sa demercuration, from the term demercuration, kibale, gikuha mo si mercury. So, you need to add sodium borohydride para makuha si mercury. So, during the final step of the demercuration process, you're going to involve, there will be involvement of radicals so that your mercury will be removed from your compound. So take note that for the regiochemistry of this reaction, it will correspond to Markovnikov's addition of water. That is, yung OH mo, na group na ma-attach sa compound mo will be attached sa carbon na may or that is more highly substituted carbon atom. So doon ma-attach si OH group mo or si hydroxy group mo. And yung H group mo naman, which is ito, doon siya mag-attach sa less highly substituted carbon. So again, si oxymercuration, demercuration, hydration reaction will follow Markovnikov's addition. So in addition to your oxymercuration demercuration method, in which again it will follow Markovnikov's product, or it will yield a Markovnikov's product, another complementary method that will yield a non-Markovnikov product is what you call addition of water by hydroboration. Again, this is another hydration reaction, but yung difference nila ni oxymercuration demercuration is that si oxymercuration demercuration is nag-follow siya sa Markovnikov's rule. Si addition of H2O by hydroboration is non-Markovnikov's product yung yield niya. So this was discovered by H.C. Brown. That's why in 1959, and it's called hydroboration process. So the reaction for your hydroboration process, it involves adding BH bond of your borane. So BH3 is your borane. Bale, you need to add BH3 to your alkene to yield your organoborane intermediate. So si organoborane intermediate, ito yung formation niya. Bale, this is your R group. This is your R group. And this is your BH 2. So that's why yung mukha niya is R BH 2. Bale, yung R group is naka-attach siya kang boron mo, BH2. Oxidation of the organoborane by reaction with basic hydrogen peroxide. So you need hydrogen peroxide para maka-yield ka ng alcohol. So that is for your hydroboration oxidation process. Take note that your borane is very reactive. Your BH3 is very reactive as an acid, as a Lewis acid. Because yung boron mo kasi, meron siyang 6 electrons, di ba? Kung magpunta ka sa periodic table, meron siyang 6 valence electrons. That's why it's very reactive. that's why when you add your alkene, like for example, in this case, you have your cyclohexene, what happens if you add your borane to your alkene, it will react with um it will react in a rapid addition to your double bond. So kibale, there will be rapid addition to your double bond and it will occur 3 times. Kasi, like for example, this is your BH3. Si BH3, meron siyang it needs 6 electrons. So, kibale, you need 3 compound or 3 moles of cyclohexene in 1 BH3, 1 mole of BH3. That's how strong or that's how reactive yung borane mo. So, yung isang mole lang ni BH3, makabond siya sa 3 mole ng alkene mo. So, that is an example. So 1 molar equivalent of BH3 adds to 3 molar equivalent of your cyclohexene to yield this compound. So meron kang tricyclohexylborane. So what happens after producing tricyclohexylborane is you need to treat it with your aqueous hydrogen H2O2 in basic solution, ha? And that's where oxidation takes place. So that's why another term for hydroboration or this reaction is what you call hydroboration oxidation. Mali. Oxidation reaction. Mm. So the net effect of two-step hydroboration oxidation sequence is hydration of the alkene double bond. So those are the two hydration reaction of your alkenes. I hope you understand the two difference nila and yung mechanism, again, si oxymercuration, demercuration will follow Markovnikov's process, and then si hydroboration oxidation reaction will follow non-Markovnikov's process. So next, this is a continuation of your hydroboration reaction. So one of the key features that makes your hydroboration reaction so useful is the regiochemistry that results when an unsymmetrical alkene is hydroborated. So like for example, you have your hydroboration oxidation of 1-methyl cyclopentene. So it will yield trans 2-methyl cyclopentanol. It will yield trans 2-methyl cyclopentanol. So, yung boron and hydrogen mo, it will add to your alkene dito, ang 1-methyl cyclopentene. From the same phase, sila mag-add. So, kaya nandito sa likod, si hydrogen and si BH2 mo, it will add the same phase of your double bond. That is syn. That is why you called syn stereochemistry. The opposite of anti, which is the opposite of anti. So, si boron, since it will follow non-Markovnikov's reaction, so si BH3, si BH2 mo is doon siya ma-attach sa less substituted. Okay? Because it will follow non-Markovnikov's reaction. So, si boron mo is doon siya ma-attach sa less substituted. Si H mo, doon siya ma-attach sa highly substituted carbon. So during sa oxidation process na, si boron mo, it will be replaced by your hydroxyl group and it will resulting in an overall non-Markovnikov's addition of water. Hydroboration differs from many other alkene addition reaction in that it occurs in a single step without a carbocation intermediate because both CH and CB bond form at the same time and from the same phase of the alkene. So again, yung hydroboration oxidation process mo, it will only occur in single step. Single step lang. So there will be no carbocation intermediate formation. Walang carbocation na ma-form because what will happen is that yung hydrogen mo, yung isang hydrogen mo dito sa borane mo, and then yung BH2 mo is it will be attached at the same time. So sabay sila ma-attach. That's why isa lang yung step. Um, isa lang ang step sa hydroboration process. And yung stereochemistry niya again is syn stereochemistry. Yan yung result niya. Syn non-Markovnikov's stereochemistry. Another reaction is you have the reduction reaction, reduction of alkenes. Okay? So, 'di ba, sa electrochem ninyo, ano yung reduction? So, si reduction is si loss of electrons, 'di ba? Muna siya. And then si oxidation is si gain si oxidation ang loss of electrons, si reduction is nag-gain ka ng electrons. Pero dito kasi sa organic chemistry, yung oxidation ginagamit siya if meron kang gi-add na oxygen. So si reduction naman ginagamit siya if yung gi-add mo sa compound mo is si hydrogen. So that's their definition sa organic chemistry. So, yung alkenes mo dito, in your reduction, it will react with H2. Will react with H2 in the presence of a metal catalyst. And in this case, sa example na to is si platinum. And then it will yield saturated alkane. So, among product niya, saturated alkane. This process is what you called hydrogenation or reduction. So same lang sila. You have, yung kibali, yung nangyari is yung double bond mo, it's been hydrogenated. Kibali, na-addan siya ng hydrogen or na-reduced siya. Kaya mas naging saturated siya. So again, in organic chemistry, reduction is a reaction that results in gain of electron density by carbon. And it is caused either by bond formation between carbon and a less electronegative atom, usually hydrogen. That's why hydrogenation yung other term ni reduction. So si platinum or si palladium, they are the most common laboratory catalyst that is used for alkene hydrogenation. Take note, si platinum and si palladium ang most commonly used laboratory catalyst. Catalytic hydrogenation, unlike most other organic reactions, it is heterogeneous. So, ano yung ibig sabihin yan? So, that means that the hydrogenation reaction does not occur in a homogeneous solution, but instead, it takes place on a surface of a solid catalyst particles. So, that's heterogeneous. So, kibale, doon siya sa surface ng solid catalyst mo or solid metal mo. And you will see a video later. Anong ibig sabihin, ma'am, na doon siya sa surface ng catalyst? So, we have a video later. So, hydrogenation usually occurs with syn. So, syn din yung si hydrogenation, syn. Syn stereochemistry. So, meaning both hydrogen adds to the double bonds from the same phase. So, same sila. So, in this case, nandito sila sa front, yung mga hydrogen atoms mo nakaband. So as shown, this is the mechanism. We'll be discussing about the mechanism of your hydrogenation. As shown in this figure, hydrogenation begins with the adsorption of your H2. So ito yung H2 mo. So si H2, i-adsorb. So if you say adsorb, again, sa organic chemistry ninyo, sa lab ninyo, si adsorb is doon lang siya sa surface. So yung hydrogenation, it will begin with adsorption of your H2 into your catalyst. So in this case, yung catalyst mo dito is itong surface na to, yung color blue. So that is your metal catalyst. So i-adsorb ng metal catalyst mo si H2 mo dito. So complexation between catalyst and alkene occurs at a vacant orbital on metal interact with filled alkene p orbital. So there will be interaction between the vacant orbital on your metal. It will interact with your alkene p orbital. So in the final steps, hydrogen ito 'di ba yung hydrogen mo? So meaning may interaction na sa vacant orbital mo, sa metal mo, may interaction sila with your p orbital sa alkene mo. And then, what happens is that yung hydrogen mo dito is inserted sa um, double bond ng alkene mo. And the saturated product diffuses away from the catalyst. So the stereochemistry of hydrogenation is syn because both hydrogens add to the double bond from the same catalyst surface. So to further explain, so here is a video. So that's the formation of your alkene. So from double bond, naging single bond na siya. Okay, that's back. So this is your metal catalytic surface. Nickel. Nickel yung ginamit niya dito. And then this is your alkene. So yung mangyari is yung sinabi ko kanina is meron kang interaction, kibale, sa vacant orbital ng metal mo and then yung alkene p orbital mo. So that's why may interaction sila. Ah. Tapos, your H2, yung H2 mo, it will attach to your metal catalyst surface. Um, ng dalawang hydrogen mo. And then yung isang hydrogen atom mo, it will transfer to your um, C. C carbon from your alkene. Bale, it will break the interaction of your metal and your alkene, and then it will form alkene. Yung product niya is mag-bond si hydrogen kang C mo, and it will form an alkene. So that is for your hydrogenation process. And then oxidation of alkenes. So there are two reactions. So again, if reduction, it adds hydrogen. So yung oxidation naman is nag-add siya ng oxygen. So an oxidation is a reaction that results in a loss of electron density by carbon and caused either by bond formation between your carbon and a more electronegative atom. In this case, it can be oxygen, it can be nitrogen, or it can be halogen. So that is oxidation. Si epoxidation naman, it will result, ay, wala pala na share. Si epoxidation naman, it will result in a cyclic ether. So, cyclic ether yung product niya with an oxygen atom. So that's why it's still under oxidation reaction. So it forms epoxide, or another term for epoxide naman is oxirain. So again, si epoxide or si oxirain, they are cyclic ether na may oxygen atom. Tapos, yung ring niya is three-membered ring. Stereochemistry of this addition is syn. So, syn siya with the hydrogenation process, syn. So, like for example, you have, for example, so like for example, ito si meta-chloroperoxybenzoic acid. This is what you call peroxy acid. Peroxy siya kasi, di ba, if you remember, si organic acid mo is R, this is your R group, RCOOH, di ba? That is organic acid. Pero si peroxy acid, after ni O dito, meron pa siyang other O before siya nag-H. So that's why it's called peroxy kasi dalawa yung oxygen mo sa terminal part ng compound. So you have two oxygen, peroxy acid. So peroxy acids like si meta-chloroperoxybenzoic acid, it will transfer an oxygen atom to your alkene. So yung ginamit niya dito si cycloheptene. So nag-transfer siya ng oxygen. I-erase ko para mag-gets. So, yung gin-transfer niya yung isang oxygen mo dito, ito na oxygen, git-transfer niya sa double bond mo para ma git-transfer na niya to your alkene with syn, stereochemistry. Syn, so same side. Same sila. So, ito and ito nasa front siya. Since stereochemistry, both C C2O bonds, ito, C2O bonds mo form on the same side of the double bond through one-step mechanism, and there is no intermediate. So the oxygen atom farthest from the carbonyl group is the one being transferred. In this case, ito, na oxygen. That is for your oxidation. So, oxidation reaction. So after, you will form your epoxides. So ito yung epoxide mo or oxirane. So epoxides undergo an acid catalyzed ring opening reaction. So you need H3O hydronium ion. Ipa-react mo si epoxide mo with your acid solution to give the corresponding diol. So, yung product ng epoxide with your acid solution is a diol. So, like for example, ito, yung epoxide, ipa-react niya with acid solution, yung product is 1,2-diol. 1,2-diol. Another term is glycol. Glycol. So thus, the net result for the two-step alkene epoxidation hydrolysis is what you call hydroxylation. Kasi yung una kasi is epoxidation. Epoxidation again is meron kang double bond or meron kang alkene, ipa-react mo siya with your peroxy acid. So, meron, yung product niya is epoxide. Ito, epoxide or oxirane. And then, after meron ka ng epoxide, is i-undergo mo siya ng hydrolysis. So, that's why yung two-step alkene is called, alkene reaction is called epoxidation hydrolysis or short-term hydroxylation. Kasi nag-add ka ng OH group mo. So in fact, approximately 18 million metric tons of ethyl glycol, most of it is being used for automobile antifreeze. They are produced via this reaction. So yung ginagamit sa na ethylene glycol sa mga sasakyan is through epoxidation hydrolysis reaction or hydroxylation process. So that is for epoxidation hydrolysis reaction. By the way, hydroxylation can be carried out directly. So, pwede ka hindi mag-undergo ng epoxidation process. Yung gagamitin mo is si osmium tetroxide or ito, OSO. OSO4, osmium tetroxide. So, the reaction occurs with syn stereochemistry. So, same lang. But, it does not involve a carbocation intermediate. So, for osmium tetroxide, as your as your reactant with your alkene is yung reaction niya is hindi mag-involve ng carbocation intermediate. So instead it takes place through an intermediate cyclic osmate. So hindi carbocation intermediate yung product niya but instead cyclic osmate intermediate. This cyclic osmate is then cleaved using your NaHSO3 or sodium bisulfite. And then meron. So those are the two oxidation process. You have epoxidation, hydration reaction, and you also have um hydroxylation process using osmium tetroxide. So, and then another one naman is through um addition of ozone or O3. So, and now this is another oxidation process. Oxidation of alkenes, you're going to add ozone. So, ozone is one of the most useful double bond cleavage reagent. And it's prepared by, if you have your oxygen, ozone can be synthesized by passing your oxygen through a high voltage electrical discharge. And you can have your ozone. So ozone adds rapidly to your C to C double bond at low temperature. So very low temperature to give your cyclic intermediate. And this intermediate, it's called molozonide. So once your molozonide is formed, it spontaneously rearranges to form ozonide. So this is yung molozonide mo, it will transform to ozonide. And then, yung low molecular weight ozonide mo, they are very reactive. It's explosive and therefore not isolated. So instead, the ozonide is immediately treated with your reducing agent such as zinc in acetic acid para ma-convert siya to carbonyl compounds. So this is for your um, cleavage reaction using ozone. So this is an example. So you have your alkene. Yung alkene mo, it is being ozonized with ozone. So si alkene, kung meron kang alkene na tetra substituted. So if you say again, tetra substituted is meron kang mga naka-attach dito sa carbon mo. So may naka-attach dyan, dito, dito, dito. Tetra substituted. So yung ozonolysis reaction sa tetra substituted double bond mo, it will the product is dalawang ketone. Ketone yung product niya. Okay? Again, if tetra substituted yung double bond mo or yung alkene mo, tetra substituted, yung alkene mo, it will form ketone. If yung alkene mo is tri-substituted, in this case, like for example, ito, you have is do 1, 2, 3. So kasi same sila nito. So this is hindi to siya tetra substituted. This is substituted. So kibale kung tri substituted siya, kung try, yung product niya after ozonolysis is meron kang isang ketone and meron kang isang aldehyde. Take note ha. You have one ketone and one aldehyde. If your compound or your alkene is tri-substituted. This is an example of tetra-substituted. So, yung product niya, after ozonolysis reaction is dalawang ketone. So, you have cyclohexanone and then you have your acetone. So, if di-substituted naman, like for example, ito di-substituted siya kasi isa and then isa dua lang ang naka-attach na substituent sa alkene mo. Yung product niya is dalawang aldehyde. So take note if di siya two aldehyde. So if tetra, two ketone. If tri, substituted ketone and aldehyde. If di, substituted two aldehydes. Yung product after ozonolysis reaction. And then several oxidizing agents other than ozone can cause double bond cleavage, although the reaction is not often used. So like for example, si permanganate, potassium permanganate, or KMNO4. So KMNO4 is an in a neutral or acidic solution cleaves your alkene. So ito, this is an example. This is your alkene with your KMNO4 solution in an acidic solution, acidic KMNO4 in an acidic solution. It will cleave your alkenes. So na cleave niya or na break niya yung double bond mo. If hydrogens are present in the double bond, carboxylic acids are produced. So, 'di ba, meron kang hydrogen isa dito and then meron ka ding dalawang hydrogen dito sa double bond mo. So, yung product niya is carboxylic. So, ito, carboxylic acid and CO2. And then, in addition to direct cleavage with ozone or KMNO4, an alkene can also be cleaved into two-step process. So first is, so this is another one. This is cleavage of 1,2 diols. So first is initial hydroxylation of 1,2 diol. So like for example, meron kang diol and then i-undergo mo siya ng hydroxylation process followed by treatment of the diol with periodic acid. So ito, periodic acid. So, yung dalawang diol mo, yung dalawang alcohol mo dito or OH group or hydroxyl groups, naka-open chain na siya. Na-separate mo si hydrogen, open chain siya, and you will form this intermediate. This is cyclic periodate acid, intermediate. So, yung product niya is ito. This is two carbonyl compounds. So, meron kang isang carbonyl group, C2O double bond, and your second carbonyl group. So, if you have two hydroxyl groups on a ring like this one, isa lang ang product niya. Isa ka dicarbonyl. A single open chain dicarbonyl compound is formed. So, kibali na-separate siya. Na-separate yung mga carbonyl groups. So, that is for your oxidation process. And then, so, ito, I think this was already discussed, yung carbene. So, kindly review na lang yung carbene, polymerization reaction, and then you also have your Simon-Smith. And for your assignment, kindly answer this one here. So please answer this assignment and screenshot na lang and to be submitted next meeting. So if you have questions, you can private message me in my Facebook, or if you have any clarifications about our topic today, please review about the discussion from the last meeting, and we're going to have our quiz about yung introduction ni alkenes and this chapter 8. Chapter 8 and I think chapter 7. Yung discussion natin last week. So that is all.